Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. And today I have something very exciting for you guys. So this is the APL Superfuture. And APL is a company and it stands for Athletic Propulsion Labs. And 10 years ago, they made a shoe that the NBA banned because it gave an unfair advantage to people who actually wore the shoe. So they're claiming that you get up to 3.5 inches of vert from the actual shoe, which is kind of insane. Of course, I am very excited to try all of that out. The Superfuture is going for 300 bucks, which is pretty insane. That's very premium pricing. If you guys do want to get it, I'll leave a link in the description box. There are 4 colorways available, but let's get it started off with the traction. So they're using a fully translucent outsole, and there are 2 pods, one in the forefoot and one in the heel. And in this colorway, we have a solid volt green color for the pods. And they're using a multi-directional modified herringbone traction pattern. I just call it a wave bone, I'd say. And then here in the midfoot, it kind of just turns into lines. As far as like how it feels on my wood floors, it seems to bite pretty well. Has a nice little squeak to it too. Durability also seems like it's gonna be good. It might even be dual density, right? So the rubber compound here where the pod is feels like a good amount harder than the actual rubber compound that's on the translucent outsole, right? They don't really say anything about that, but that's just what I'm speculating, like from what I'm feeling here. And it seems like it's gonna be pretty durable as well. Of course, I'm gonna be playing with this outdoors. So traction seems good, I like that. As far as the heel to toe transition goes, it seems pretty smooth. You have a nice curved shape here in the heel. It is kind of flat, but you know, it's not too bad. And there is a good amount of compression in the heel, which we'll get into. So that helps the heel to toe transition. You have a gradual curve here in the forefoot. It's not the craziest that we've ever seen, but of course it's not super flat like some of Adidas' shoes. And there is a good amount of flex here in the forefoot. So heel to toe transition seems very smooth. And also we have a midfoot shank plate. It says Athletic Propulsion Labs, and it's just a plastic rectangular midfoot shank plate. All right, moving on to the cushion, which is probably the craziest thing about this shoe. So the cushion is basically claiming to give you up to 3.5 inches of vert just by wearing the shoe, right? So that's insane. So the foam that they're using is full length future foam, right? So it's basically this white midsole here in this colorway, and here in the heel there is a lot of compression. It's soft. It seems to have a nice subtle bounce to it as well. Not super bouncy like React, but it doesn't feel super soft and mushy like Boost, you know? I feel like it's kind of in between there as far as bounce goes. So it feels really nice. It's thick in the heel, and I feel like impact protection is going to be very good. Also, you guys can see that it does protrude out a little bit too, so that helps for compression here in the heel. Let's talk about what's here in the forefoot, right? So they're calling this their load and launch technology, and there are 8 actual springs in it. So there's little metal coil springs in this load and launch cushioning system here in the forefoot, right? And there's like a bottom plate, a top plate, and then of course the springs. And it doesn't feel super crazy right now. I was just kind of walking around it. I jumped around in it just a little bit. I didn't really play in it or go hard in it yet. So I can definitely feel the plate here in the forefoot, right? There's a little bit of compression. There's a little bit of bounce. I feel like the springs have a lot of like resistance right now, and then it's probably something that I have to break in. But I can feel like the actual plate, you know, in the forefoot. Yeah, I can feel the shape of it and all that. And yeah, of course, I'm gonna need to test it out. I don't really have crazy hops. I actually have really bad hops. I can barely touch the rim. So if I can touch the rim in this shoe, that'd be awesome, right? And obviously it would prove that this shoe does work. But let's just say maybe it might not work. We'll have to see. But minus like the springs and all that here in the forefoot, the future foam is still nice. And if it was just the future foam in the shoe, I actually wouldn't mind it at all. So the cushioning setup is awesome, and the insole is great. You know, it's a very thick memory foam like insole, and it improves the step-in comfort, and it feels awesome. So the cushioning system is nice. As far as the upper goes, they're calling this a tech loom upper. And it's basically just knit, and it's super soft, very thin as well. So here in the forefoot, I guess here along the edge of the toe cap, we have some more stitching. So that adds durability to the knit. Obviously, if you do like toe drags and stuff like that. And then here on top of the toe, we have a nice knit upper. I really like how it feels. It feels very comfortable on foot. The knit in the toe isn't really stretchy at all, but then the knit here in the ankle collar is super stretchy. So that stretch allows you to open up this ankle part a lot and just slide your foot in. The shoe is very easy to put on, and there's really no laces on the shoe. It's just elastic bands. So here in the forefoot, we got 2 elastic bands that make like an X shape. And then here in the ankle, we got 2 as well, but these don't really do anything, I don't think. And then here on top of the shoe, we have an ankle strap that you strap down with some Velcro. I don't really like the synthetic materials that they use. I mean, for 300 bucks, I feel like they could have used better quality materials. But yeah, on foot, this material is super nice. And I feel like this shoe is supportive where it needs to be supportive, and very, very soft and comfortable where it needs to be soft and comfortable, you know? As far as the fit goes, I would suggest going down half a size. I mean, lengthwise, it's not super long. So if you don't like to have the length like very, very snug, then I would maybe suggest going true to size. But I'm suggesting that you go down half a size because this material, I feel like, is gonna stretch out a lot. And also it's a little roomy. I would have liked it to be a little bit tighter, especially with this type of knit, because you know, this knit is just so comfortable that personally for me, I like to have a very, very snug fit. And width-wise, I would say it's a normal width. So if you like a roomier fit, or you have a wide foot, true to size should be okay, or maybe even up half a size. All right, moving on to the support and lockdown. I feel like it's gonna be adequate in the shoe. It doesn't feel like it's gonna be the most supportive shoe, especially comparing to like the Jordan 35 or something, which has a crazy amount of support. But like I said, I feel like they added support where the shoe needs to be supported. You know, for like lateral containment, we have the rubber outsole coming up. We have the extra stitching here in the toe box, as well as like the synthetic material. And also the cushion comes up to cage you a little bit for lateral containment as well. As you guys can see, this shoe comes up really high on the ankle, and you get a good amount of ankle support. Here in the back, we have a synthetic material with this ankle strap, which allows you to really crank it down and get a good amount of ankle support, it feels like right now. And also you have an outrigger, right? So as you guys can see, it does protrude out here in the forefoot. So I feel like lateral stability is going to be good as well in this shoe. All right, as far as the weight goes, I don't know, it feels kind of light to me for some reason. Ooh, 14.32 ounces, really? That's crazy. I feel like probably most of the weight is coming from the rubber outsole. The rubber is pretty damn thick, if you guys can see. The foam, I don't think it adds a whole lot of weight. Maybe the metal springs might add a little bit of weight. The upper is just super minimal. There's not a lot of padding really at all in this upper either. Besides, I guess, like where your Achilles is, like absolutely no padding in this upper. So obviously the weight really isn't coming from there either. But yeah, that surprised me. I can't believe this shoe is like 14.32 ounces. It doesn't feel heavy really at all. But of course, I'm gonna need to play in it, and once I start playing in it, I can adequately evaluate the weight, see if I feel the weight of the shoe while I'm playing, you know? All right, as far as the aesthetics go, it's not bad. You know, to be honest, I don't really like the aesthetic vibe all too much. I don't know why, but I like to have laces on my shoes. I feel like laces look a lot better. Like, for example, like the Jordan 33 or like the Kobe AD NXT Fast Fit, they were good looking shoes kind of, but then I didn't really like that it didn't have laces. It just looks kind of weird to me. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So as far as my first impressions go, I'm pretty impressed. Like the traction seems good. I like the cushioning so far. And I'm very, very excited and very curious to try out the spring system to see if it actually gives me extra like vert, you know? The materials are nice. I love the knit material. For 300 bucks though, I feel like they should have used better materials. I don't think the synthetic materials was a good choice. But overall, my first impressions of the shoe are nice. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.